Hi, it's me, Micro. The game that we're about to talk about, Superliminal, is a deeply personal game to me. And you may kind of wonder, well, how is a puzzle game about perspective and size so deeply personal to you? Well, I'll tell you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk to you about being special.
So, I started my top up here at uni a few years back in 2023. And I graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2024. And I've got to say, it was one of the hardest and toughest times and years for me personally. I was going through a few things mentally, and uni was very different and way more tiring than I thought it was going to be. I mean, obviously I knew that it was going to be difficult, and I knew it wouldn't be the same as college in previous years, but by God, it hit me like a truck. I had little to no motivation. I was always tired and I struggled concentrating in class. I had to travel about an hour to get to my classes, possibly even an hour and a half when you count in the walking, and we wouldn't leave until very late. And I was not used to this schedule. I was used to walking 5 to 10 minutes down my road to get to my college every day, but this was a lot different. I struggled all year with my confidence. I was feeling like I was 5 steps behind and everyone else was 20 steps forward, and I struggled a lot with self-doubt and still do, and I was wondering if I even deserved to be somewhere like a university. And it was difficult, it was hard, and I felt like I couldn't quite cope, like I was going to miss every deadline and write terribly to the point that I would fail nearly every single class I had. And I would worry about my assignments all the time, 24/7. It was the most prevalent thing on my mind. Now luckily, I've always had video games, films and music to comfort me if I ever feel stressed or upset. I could escape for hours and not have to worry about anything as I switch my brain off and I just have some fun. But during this time in uni, I've struggled to watch films, listen to music and play many games, since I was so inundated with work and deadlines, and as well as this I was working part-time as well, so needless to say, I didn't have a ton of downtime, apart from the nights in which I spent most nights trying to wind down and relax after the chaotic days that I had. Now I won't bore you with the rest of the details, so I'll just cut to the chase. So, Christmas half-term or break came around, and I finally had some time off from travelling and from work, because I work in education, and so therefore I get the half-terms and such off. So I didn't have any work to go to, I didn't have any uni, so I spent most of my days sitting on my laptop working on my assignments I had that I would do, and I got on with them. I got them done, so they were kind of out the way and they weren't in the way anymore, and I could finally play some games, watch some films and listen to some music. But one game in particular stood out to me, and that was Superliminal, and I thought, well, let's give it a go. I thought, how about a nice, puzzler to get me back in the mood? So I downloaded it and I booted it up for the first time, and I played through the game. Now, it was extremely confusing at points, and really quite infuriating at points as well. But nonetheless, I played through all the levels, and I loved it almost immediately. I did have to look up a few walkthroughs and playthroughs, because I did get stuck at multiple points, but nonetheless I was able to get through it with mostly not being able to look through walkthroughs and gameplay. I played through all the levels and loved it almost immediately, and I finally got to the end after multiple hours of confusion, that is, and the ending monologue came. And this monologue was something that I truly believe partially changed my outlook on life. Now, I won't recite the entire speech, but I will point out my favourite point, which is, more often than not, the problem is not that the problems we face can't be solved, the problem is that we become
can't be solved. The problem is that we become so afraid of failure that we refuse to see our problems from a new perspective. And so, we do the same things again and again and again. And therein, of course, we find exactly the failure we were looking for. life will always be a struggle, and you will always have problems. But today, you had the chance to see things differently. Even though it meant facing obstacles that seemed impossible at first, you thought outside the box, and you overcame them. Because you saw things from every angle, you understood them for what they really were. Because you kept moving forward, no matter how far off the path you were told you were headed, or how unexpected it became, you found your way. In a few minutes, you'll be back in the real world, and some part of you will say that none of this was real. So how could it have really meant anything? But just like the power of perspective itself, it will have been as real as you believed it to be. All you've got to do is wait up.
And I thought that this was really beautiful. And I thought that this message came at quite a crucial time in my life, really. I mean, I don't believe in any sort of fate or that anything happens for a reason. But it was strange how personal that felt to me at that point in my life. And I'm afraid to say that I still did struggle a little bit when I went back after the Christmas break. But whenever I did feel myself getting stressed, I would try to come back to the speech in the game and embrace it with open arms and an open heart, and just try to keep that in mind. I appreciate everything that this game is, and every year I tend to come back to it just for a play and just have some fun. Even though I can speedrun it pretty quickly now, I just love it. Now, I am lucky that I passed. Even though I feel like I could have done better, I remember the quote: "No matter how far off the path I was told I was headed, or how unexpected it became, I found my way through." And I am proud of myself for that. And that is the power of Superliminal. So, in conclusion, I very highly recommend that you play this game for yourself. It is such an experience, and it's just so satisfying to get past and complete. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is another short form video, but I still hope you enjoyed nonetheless. Look out for some more shorts, by the way, coming up in the future. I'm hoping to do some CD reviews once I've listened to some CDs. So look out for that, look out for some more videos, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.